Oh, hello guys, welcome back. As you can see, it looks a little different behind us. I don't know what's going to end up looking like. We will see. We'll see. Lokean and Odin aren't coming back. They tried to come back in. I said, oh no. Oh no. Odin promised me I could trust him. He promised me I could trust him. He did not promise to succeed, but he promised me I could trust him. And in the argument, it came out that yes, he used me as a stepping stone to get to those wolf pelts. 1,350. And yes, that was worth more than keeping me happy. He said this to me specifically. I said, oh, okay. And then Loki attacked at the same time. Don't you pick on him. You would never buy him a wolf pelt. Can you hear Mount Vesuvius going off in the background? Can you? Can you people that serve Pele feel that coming up through the ground? Can you? I said, okay. And they tried to come back in a couple times a day, and I said, no. I said, pack your bags, get the fuck out until you start paying the taxes and cutting the lawn. You don't own this house. I said, you paying on any of the bills? You putting food on the table? Hell no. I said, get the fuck out. You're not welcome here anymore. And Odin just waltzed out because he really didn't give a shit. He's still in that stage of he's getting 1,350 wolf pelts. Probably more. And he just zero fucks to give about me. You know, that was more important, getting his wolf pelt. And the ironic thing is, all these wolves around here, I swear I'm starting to believe in animism, because it was like every little thing was looking at me like this. No, I'm not crazy, but it felt like that. I was reading the energy in the rooms. And so I sat down, as crazy as it seems, and I explained to them that Odin and Loki and the Norse gods are no longer part of this family. And I said every single one of you wolves was actually bought at a time that Odin asked me for a wolf pelt, or asked me for some other animal part. And I said I could not do that. I didn't think it was an animal's, not my right to take an animal's life just to give them that animal's fur. I said there are plenty of rescue wolves. You know, you can have the fur on those. The wolf's still alive inside it, but there's the fur right there for you. And every time Odin would say, that's good enough, that's good enough, but it never was. It never was. It never was. So we have all this wolf stuff falling out my fucking ears. And it was never good enough. It was never a true replacement for him. He lied when he told me, yes, that's a good enough replacement. It wasn't. It wasn't. He wanted these pelts. And he told me he used me to get to the pelts. And I said, that's nice. That's nice. So I went to Coyote and I went to Wolf, and we've been talking to La Santa, and we've been talking to every. I got Becker. What do you mean he used you to get to those pelts? Yeah. And I have been working with St. Therese because it came up in a random video about working with her, and I used to work with her before. And I said, if you can help me with this healing, because with all this aggravation, like everything, like went backwards. I said, if you can show me, there were things I needed done around here, but I said, you know what's actually more important is getting healthy. So if you can at least give me a sign. And she gives roses all day today. No roses, no roses, no roses, as I'm going around. And yes, I threw things today. I was plenty angry. I was plenty angry being betrayed. I went to this one area and I looked behind this chair, and there is a rose, and it wasn't anything I threw or anything. And I had cleaned that area, moved that chair, vacuumed everything. There's no way a rose should have been there. There was a rose. So I'm like, thank you. Thank you. And I took that wolf that he insisted I open yesterday, even though it seems like years ago, and I threw her in the back room, and I'm not going to look at her. I said that was a gift he gave me to make everything okay once I figured out he lied to me and he used me as a stepping stone to get to wolf pelts. I said, I can't fucking believe it. He finally got his way, but I said, I hope he enjoys them. I hope they keep him warm when he's out on his own, because that's it. That was truly it. That was the betrayal. And he's betrayed me before, and he's walked over me, and he's taken other people's sides in arguments, and he's done all this other stuff. So this is just like the final bullshit on the bullshit Sunday that I have been eating for years. And it was like, you know what? Fuck you. Get out. So, sometimes gods can do that. Sometimes gods can do that. They can develop bad habits. They can take us for granted. They can walk over us. They can be used to being gods and get their way. And Odin, being a god, had no problem walking right over me to get to those wolves. To get to those wolves. And I talked to the other gods and I said, I could have went the other way on this. I could have seen Odin as this poor, weak, impotent victim, and oh, this old man wanted to save the wolves too, but I said, no, I saw the look on his face and I saw the gleam on his eyes. That was that lust and greed that's in his nature. And I said, that's stronger than his love for me. And I said, shit, if I can't trust him against that, I can't trust him for anything. I don't trust him to put food on the table. I don't trust him to keep a roof over my head. I don't trust him to help me pay my bills. I don't trust him with my health goals. I don't trust him with my future goals. And the thing is, and I told the others, and I think some of them knew, but they didn't tell Odin. Odin had been pulling around because he thought I had some kind of foresight. And I had told him the truth. He didn't want to hear it. He thought I could make it work on demand. I could never make my foresight work on demand. It's like somebody in the Greek tragedies or the Greek stories that got cursed by Apollo. A certain young lady that would always tell the truth, yet nobody would believe her. I get foresight at the worst possible times, and I never believe myself. I never believe myself. I go, that's not foresight. That's not foresight. I even asked Paula once, I said, did I pass you off? And he's like, not that I'm aware of. I said, like in a past life? And he goes, why? I said, I get foresight and I never believe myself. He just kind of nodded and walked away. So I don't know, but I was reading that book about Odin, about how Odin has left a lot of people and just jumped them abruptly. And I had foresight. I like almost saw this day, not this day specifically, but I almost saw this day. And I'm like, I saw this coming. And the universe has been shouting at me, and angel numbers have been falling from the sky, and signs have been falling from the sky, and the tarot's been like, tell you what, girl, he's gonna betray you, and he's gonna break your heart. It wasn't a sign from the gods, it was the universe going, girl, he is literally gonna break your heart. Boom, break the glass heart. Boom, wooden heart starting to fall down. Boom, other heart fell down. It was like, girl, he gonna break your heart. He gonna break your heart. It's why all this heart stuff kept falling down. I thought it was the gods showing they were unhappy when I was already bending over backwards for them to give them everything they wanted, including the party this month, right? Because I wanted to go on vacation, but no, I sacrificed that to keep the little fox happy. And the god, it was like the universe screaming at me, they are going to betray you. They are going to break your heart for the final time. It's going to be over. I've been getting, you're going to go through a big change. You're going to go through a big change because I've been getting 555, and some people say that's the disaster number. And I was like, oh, shit. I've gotten it before. Nothing this bad's happened, but yeah. In fact, this heart had blown out. The glass heart fell down. All these little heart stickies that I got yesterday to try to put a bandage on a broken dam. Yeah. It's all gonna explode. The thing was, I was putting in all the effort at this point. The gods just weren't trying anymore. They weren't trying anymore. They got fat and lazy, and they just weren't going to work at it anymore. You cannot have a relationship with a god when you are the one putting in all the effort. Somebody asked me, could their relationship, because they just started working with Loki, could it end badly? Sure it can. Any relationship between any two beings, whether they're both human and animal, human and divinity, divinity and divinity animal, whatever, can end in absolute disaster, dumpster fire that everybody else goes, glad that didn't happen to me. And it can also become epic and last forever. Now, this didn't have to end because they both tried to come back in. I said, you pack your bags, you get the fuck out. I said, you know what? I don't care if people, I'm 45 now, I don't care if people are going to say cultural appropriation. Coyote and Wolf and Lacenta showed up to help me, damn it. The Voodoo and Loa showed up to help me, They all showed up to help me, and they're like, what have we been telling you about white people? They love us all. They don't see color, but they mean that white people. The Karens out there, yeah, because I think Karens are, like, by default, they're white. We know what we're talking about. The bad white people out there that make the rest of the people of the same skin tone look bad. Those people. They're like, what have we been telling you? What have we been telling you? Coyote kept telling me, he kept warning me, and I just thought it was Coyote being paranoid. He's like, I'd watch out about making agreements with white people. I mean, excuse me? He's like, you're Italian, you get a pass. And we do. We're like officially, we're white when they need the numbers, and we're not white again. We're something else. We're Latin something something when they don't need us. But yeah, and Germans and Poles got invited to the party rather late. They weren't included in the original starter pack for white people. So he's like, "You get a pass. You get a pass." He's like, "You're the least white person I know. You get a pass." And I had to laugh at that, but he's like, "This is what I'm telling you," and it doesn't mean anything bad. Just to be crystal clear about all white people in general, but that imperialistic, colonialistic, I am white and therefore I am right attitude that a lot of white people still have today. The whiny man children that go around in caps and waving the American flag and saying that you are stepping on their civil liberties. Like, they know what that's like, because you have to wear a mask or get a shot, or I don't know, not be an ass clown 24/7. Their rights are being infringed on and people are attacking Christianity. Those people? Yeah, yeah. Coyote's like, no, we don't play with those people. You come over here and be with the normal people. And Odin has the capacity to be that colonialistic, I want it, therefore it's mine person. These aren't his wolves. This look like fucking Europe to you? These aren't his wolves. Not that these gods, put their little stamp on everything, but this is the First Nations land. If they would belong to anyone, Great Spirit, Wolf, Coyote, whomever, the indigenous spirits of the land of Idaho, but Odin, he's a fucking paleface that came over with the rest of his people. They don't belong to him, and he just, Lord that he is, he's like, I'm getting all these wolf pelts for myself. I get the fuck you say back here? Wolf is with us, by the way. And and that's it. He's got that colonialistic, imperialistic, I can take it because I want it attitude. Loki's got it too. Loki's kind of vaguely aware that there's something wrong with the idea that they can come in. And he's been skating on thin ice lately, saying some stuff and doing some stuff that I knew he was directing at Coyote. And I said, I can't believe you just pulled that shit. You know that I won't even do it on camera, but you know that stuff people used to do, white people used to do to pretend they were Indian. I said, the fuck did you just do? And he says, I'm not being bad. I said, that is very bad. That is a racial slur. That is bad. I said, you might as well put on a headdress and dance around with a fake tomahawk while you're at it. I said, that's fucking insulting, dude. And he's just been kind of skating around, because he don't like Coyote. He don't like Coyote and he don't like Wolf. And they like Placenta and then they don't like her, you know. And they kind of got the idea they're the best gods. They're the best group of gods. Hey, we're gonna spill the fucking tea. And I said, I don't know where you got this idea that because you're European, you're actually better than the rest of this family. Is that what you were saying to me? Because you better think before another word comes out of your mouth. And Odin was like, he deserved this stuff and he deserves anything he wants. I was like, I didn't say it to him, but I was like, listen to me, white man. I didn't say it. I don't think I had to. But yeah, I was not going to tell Odin that I do have foresight, but when I don't want it. And all that foresight was coming to me and telling me it was going to end in disaster. And I'm like, nah, I'm being paranoid. But I talked to him about Coyote and Code. He's like, yeah, I could tell. I could tell. And they're not mad at me. They're not mad at me because they know that if I felt like being stepped on and abused some more, I would take Loki and Odin right back. But they're like, no, something happened to poison the well. Whether it was reading the wrong books, or it was all the attacks from from the internet, or whatever it was, or they just started taking me for granted. They would have to do, excuse me guys, they would have to do such big miracles at this point to convince me I'm loved. They're not capable of it. They're not strong enough to pull it off. They're not known as almighty, all-powerful beings. So no, they wouldn't be able to do this level of thing. And when a god loves you, as long as you're doing what they want, and they hate you and they're angry with you when you don't, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's not healthy. Any god starts treating you that way, walk out. Absolutely walk out. Don't even look back. Say, I don't know you anymore. and walk out and find you a God that can do better for you and find you a God that can love you and treat you right. You need to have a relationship with a God you can trust to help you meet your basic needs and with a God you can trust to respect you. If you figure out that they're just using you for hots and a cots, as the saying goes, throw them out. Throw them out. You can get another God. I know you're attached. I know you're brokenhearted, but do you know how many people I had come up to me through the years telling me Loki just dumped them, or Odin just dumped them, or Thor just dumped them, or someone else? It happens. It happens. Sometimes they get very cavalier. Right now with Marvel, those two are fucking literal gods. So they're rock stars right now. They're popular. They don't have to treat people well. Once they're back to the bottom of the barrel and Marvel ain't worth shit and Disney is a forgotten memory, then they're going to remember how to treat people right. But right now, they've got this shitty attitude. I told them both. I said, I don't know what the hell went wrong with you in the last couple of years, but you're getting this shitty cavalier attitude I don't enjoy. They've forgotten how to treat people. It happens. It happens. And I'm like, I'm really not surprised. But, I have the rest to be with. And, the energy does feel really different because I basically did some things to open stuff up and clean out bad energy and make sure everything was healed. And I said, they're not getting back in. I said, I don't miss them. I said, we have plenty of family. And yeah, I cried because it was over, and I cried because they could have been a lot better gods and they chose to go the way they did. But I said, once he showed me I wasn't worth that. Once he showed me those wolf pelts are worth more than I am. And there were wolf pups coming up on Pinterest today. And I think it was Wolf going, it's going to upset some people, but when they kill the wolf puppies, they make toys out of them. I'm not fucking with you. It's the most disturbing taxidermy I've ever seen. You can buy wolf puppies and fox puppies and everything. They make a soft plush taxidermy out of an actual wolf puppy because that makes it better. Here you go. Here's the skin of a wolf puppy. Didn't you always want one? So yeah, that's what they'll do with the pups. They'll kill them and they'll make beanie babies out of them because nothing says love like a dead animal. And I'm not a vegan. I eat meat. I do, but I'm like, that's really fucking horrific. When are they going to start doing puppies and kittens? Because it's going to come sometime. And I think in some countries they do, because in some countries that's the norm. All those furry kittens and puppies and unicorns and everything you can buy from China that are made out of actual animal fur. Yeah. If you don't know what the animal fur is, you might not want to buy that. We had a thing in this area a couple years ago that people were crying their eyes out because the boots were made out of dog fur, and I just thought, maybe it's the ex-vegan in me, but if it was fox or mink or sable, that was okay, but it was dog, and now they're crying. I'm like, that's food in their culture, that's the same to them as rabbit fur is to us. We maybe have to sit down someday as a species and evaluate how we treat animals. I didn't say we should all become vegetarian or vegan, but to admit that, yeah, one culture's rabbit is another culture's, loving pet and everything, you couldn't possibly hurt it, is another person's fur, is another person's meal. One person's sacred dog that we love them and we would never do that to them. Other people eat them and they make boots out of them. So, we have to admit that as a species, and we have to grow up a little bit. And we have to, I still don't judge people for wearing fur. I don't even judge people who want a bizarre plush animal made out of a dead wolf puppy, but I don't need that in my house. I said, no. I said, I don't think it's my right to take that animal's life to give him an offering. I said, yeah, I eat meat because I can't stop at this point. I've tried to stop and my health is tanked. I said that's kind of like one of the prices of admission I pay to be on this earth. I don't suffer every time I eat meat. I love the taste, and I am a predatory animal. We are an apex predator. I said, but I don't need to kill an animal just for the fur. I don't need to kill a wolf just for the fur. I don't judge people. Again, I'm not trying to make people feel guilty or bad. I don't want him to feel guilty or bad, but I said, you just remember, once the shine of these furs wears off, because he's greedy, he's forever greedy, it won't be enough. 1,350 dead wolves is not going to be enough. I said, you're not having a home to come back to. And I said, I want you on that day when this dawns on you to wrap all those wolf furs around you, to think about it, and I want you to treat the next person better. That's the only thing I asked him for. I said, you treat the next person that gets involved with you better than you treated me. So I'm spilling the tea tonight, but you know, guys, I'm not mad. I'm not mad. That's his nature. I knew he was greedy. I knew he was sneaky. I knew he was a liar. Even people that are devoted to him for decades get dumped by the wayside. That's life with the gods. There are people that, you know, have been like sainted or whatever with other deities, and they went through periods of being abandoned for years, and then all of a sudden the god wanders back into town, and we're still cool, right? Nope, not this time. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and it'll be okay, guys. We'll still have a channel. I mean, there's, you know, everyone's around here. Asmodeus has been being very kind and reminding me that I'm still loved. And everyone else has been being very kind too. So, you know, we'll still have a family together. It's just we're not going to pretend and laugh and sing and everything and pretend the family's whole. It'll never be whole again. But Odin made that choice and Loki made that choice. And when those two made that choice, they made it for all the other Norse gods. We're kind of pissed off that it was made for them, but you know, that's life. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later. Bye bye.